Well, good evening, everyone. Here we are, 1 week away from going into Rumble 23, presented by Jason Dietz Trailer Sales. And we're so excited, Kyle, to be back inside of Fatheadz Eyewear Studio.
Yeah, 1 week away, and Larry, you always ask me every week how many days that is, and finally I can answer without thinking we are 7 days away.
And that's how many hours?
Yep.
165 hours, and just can't wait to get back inside of the Coliseum with all the divisions of racing we have, and we're always excited with the midget division. And tonight, we're kind of breaking a record. We're bringing on a guest for the third time in our 3-year history.
Fourth time now.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow. So anyways, from Lebanon, Indiana, we're going to bring in Joe Liguori. Joe has some exciting news. A 3-car stable once again. I've already announced that you and Cap will be behind the wheel, but tonight you're going to tell us about your third driver, and we're excited.
Yeah, our third driver, I guess we'll announce will be is Thomas Meserol running a car for us. We kind of teamed up with RMS Racing on this just through one of my partners with my team. It kind of came out originally as kind of just joking around about it, and we were pitted by each other at IRP, and then we kind of really got serious, and then apparently Thomas just found out probably a couple weeks ago. So no, it'll be pretty fun. He gets a bad rep, good rep every now and then, but he's actually a pretty good little wheelman. So I think he'll be all right.
Well, the thing I'm excited about, Thomas, is I think of the word colorful, and you always come to mind because you're unique in that if it's on your mind, you're going to say it.
Yeah, I don't have much to say unless it's on my mind, so it just kind of comes out. But no, excited to get to go finally and do the Rumble. I've heard a lot about it, but never really got the opportunity to do it. And Dave Estep, he's crazy. He loves to go racing, and he told me we were going to the Rumble, and just super excited to finally get the opportunity to do such.
Concrete racing, new?
Yeah. I mean, I ran some quarter midget concrete stuff when I was a kid. Me, Chuck Gurney, and AJ Allmendinger. But yeah, absolutely new. I've never been there, never seen it. Everybody said it's super small.
Yeah, it's a 1/6 mile. Kyle, you do all the social media and everything through Grit Marketing. Are you ready to do the tweets from Thomas on this?
I definitely am. I'm a little nervous. We might have to use the bleep sensor here and there, but. No, I'm excited as a social media guy as well as a fan, just because the midget division already has such exciting drivers and so much talent in it, and now we just added one more.
Joe, we talked to last year right about this time, just before we had to cancel the event due to COVID. So now you're going in as a car owner and a car driver. So what happens now? Your car that you own is in the lead, and it's your driver, but you're a driver. Who's going to win the race?
Me.
Thomas, what do you have to say about that?
I expect you to wreck me for the win too, so it's a mutual agreement.
It's tough with teammates. I race with a teammate all year with the USAC's deal, and it is tough. You can't really race anybody different. When the helmet goes on, you just race. I mean, anymore. What's your ground and what's not is, there's a really gray area there. But it seems like, on the indoor stuff, I heard they do make calls. And so, you gotta use your head, you gotta not necessarily crash people to.
Yeah, Larry will be up on that. Don't try to call his bluff because usually he wins.
Yes. The officials usually do.
Yeah. One thing you may or may not have heard, and Kyle, we talk about this all the time. Almost every show it comes up. It's a concrete track, but it's probably as close to dirt as you're going to get because I think Joe will testify the surface changes literally from almost heat race to heat race.
Yeah, when we get there on practice day, obviously there's nothing there, so we're laying it down. You're kind of sliding around the first time. It's like wheel pack, or you're out there sliding around the grease, or if you're at Putnamville and it's wet like that first group of hot laps. And then track comes in. Then it's kind of a crapshoot depending on the order of what the go-karts, quarter midgets. Quarter midgets don't really do too much, but with that is if there's lead time, the tracks sit a little longer, or if micros go out. So the rubber comes and goes. In our race, sometimes it comes and it stays. Sometimes it goes away and there's nothing at the end of the race. So it's usually you just want to get a real neutral car that works on both, and then you just got to drive it, change your line, change your style.
A week or so ago, we talked with Russ Gamester, And we brought that up to Russ, and he said, "Well, it's the same for everybody, and you just have to put the wheel out there and see." And I know you're going to be up against Tony Stewart. He's won. He's like unbeatable up there the last few years, and he really likes that outside groove, and he likes to test it. But for some reason, I think that Thomas is going to be out there. I'm watching him at Eldora and all the USAC shows. I think with him and Brandon Knupp coming back, I think we're going to have a new level of excitement. Kyle, we're talking about the midgets here, but there's so many other classes that run inside during the Rumble.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a lot in store. We often say on the show that we have literally a full day of racing from the time we get there in the morning to the afternoon. We have the North Baltimore Custom Cuts Wing 600s as well as the Liuna non-wing 600s. A whole host of go-kart classes, the Jeremy Howe Racing Senior Cage Karts, the Bob Busher Homes Clone 360 class, as well as the Economy Auto Parts Clone 330s and the Co-Heating and Air Junior 3 class. And new this year, I'm kind of excited that we have the EverageAuto.com wedge karts we'll get to see.
And just 2 days ago, we announced that the kid karts are coming back just by popular demand, and they're so neat. The 4 and 7-year-old kids out there racing, and they get out off the go-kart, and they make Rico Abreu look like a giant. The kids are just so small, and they just have so much fun. And, Thomas, you talked about you did some concrete, and you did it in quarter midget racing. And hopefully you'll be able to go over to the pit area and talk to some of these kids because they really, really love looking up to the drivers.
Yeah, it's really awesome that you said that they were running quarter midgets. Maybe I could get in one, get some laps. Laps are laps, right?
You're short enough, you'd probably still fit.
I think, in an 80-inch car, I could fit. I don't know if that's a thing, but back in the day, it was a 76, a 78, and an 80-inch car, so.
So any quarter midget owners, if you still have a ride available, I think we have a driver looking for one.
I'm guessing heavy Honda.
Heavy Honda.
Well, so the event's coming up Friday and Saturday, December 17th and 18th. It's inside of the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum, which has a really rich history. It was actually the site of the very first ever USAC race back in the 50s when they raced upstairs on the hockey rink. Now we're on a 1.6-mile track, and it's plenty wide. You can get 2 good grooves of racing out there. And at full program each day. We run basically the karts and quarter midgets in the afternoon. This year, Thomas, we're doing away, I kind of get your opinion on it since you're neutral and not been to the event. We've always done the single lap qualifying, and we're going to go this year to group qualifying. You'll get 3 times on the track, and the fastest of about 24 different laps is going to be your time. And Bob Busher Homes is putting up a cash award for fast qualifier each night. How do you feel do you feel you run better by yourself against the clock or racing against another car?
That's a real sore subject with me
Oh, boy.
It hinders my whole year. I mean, we didn't finish great in points, I feel like, because I get caught up in incidences with guys in the back, basically, because I just can't qualify. And I don't know if I can't qualify or we're just missing out on something. We have the best of the best, so when you just said group qualifying, an average of 24 laps, I think even Dave's, jumping up and down at this point. The whole team is like, oh, we could do this.
Well, good. We have a plus. That's good. Joe, what do you think?
Joe?
I like it. It takes, if you recall last year on the episode, you used to be able to like whiskey throttle it up to the checkered at the end, and you could gain like a 10th doing that, but it blows the next corner. Well, it takes that out of the aspect down to where you actually are what your car is. So it's, you get somebody go 1 lap wonder, oh, he's fast time. Well, he's really like a 5th place fastest car, but he was able to get a quick second there, or a couple tenths at the line by doing something like that. I'm really bad about that. Cap is. Most of my group were. We kind of had that plan on that. But that takes that out of the aspect now. Now it's down to what the car is. So you really know probably after the second time where you actually really stand. You may get guys throwing on new tires at the end or whatever, last 2 or whatnot. We'll go a little bit faster, and then you have time to tune on it. So I feel it's better because you get some of the guys, like take some of the Volkswagen guys who take forever to get heat in some of them. Well, they go out there, they stumble. Well, that just blew their whole qualifying because all they got was 2 laps, 3 laps. Well, now they got time to get heat in it. Well, I didn't heat that time. Let's make sure it's hotter this next time. So then it helps those guys out for sure. So I think it's a good thing.
Thomas, I have to ask you this. You said you're going into the Rumble pretty much sight unseen. You've heard about it. You've heard stories about it and everything. So let's kind of relate to going to a sprint car track for the very first time you've never been to, what's the first thing a driver does when they get there? How do they create their plan?
I just go walk the track personally. I go look at it and then hop on the quad typically, and then roll through the infield and just look at it. This place is going to be a little different because I'm always looking for banking transitions. Where the good banking is, where it ends. Holes, all the good stuff of where they actually put moisture down. So this we're walking into a flat, clean slate, and I think I'm just gonna end up leaning on Joe, for that kind of information on like what do you think the track's doing, and but once you're out there, once I put the helmet on, it doesn't really matter, I'm pretty good at that,
Okay.
so
Forgetfulness when the helmet goes on.
Yeah.
We all do that.
well, you just forget everything, and then no, I'm good at what I do once the helmet's on. So I think you just kind of chase it around. You guys were talking about it being one groove, and I think with midget racing, with wing racing, I've been doing a little bit of both. So nowadays, you just kind of like if you're faster than a guy, you just go where they're not. So I think the outside lane might be open.
Oh, great.
So with when you're doing your track walk, I have to offer a little bit of advice. Make sure your shoes are tied very tight. Always a few people that lose shoes walking the track. But Joe, leading up to this, what kind of advice are you giving Thomas?
Thomas is a really good driver. I mean, he gets, he's a dirt guy, right? Whatever. But no one really knows he's actually pretty good on pavement. First time he ever really ran USAC was at Pikes Peak and run third. A lot better than I've ever done. So you just kind of just take your time. It's a lot of throttle control. Really, if your car's working, you don't use much brake. You just let the thing roll and let the engine do a lot of the braking, because you can just really tune your car with the gearing with the inline motors like we have in our cars. So he's smart enough to know, go out there and just feel it right out the bat. And we get enough practice, thankfully, on Thursday night helping get the track done to where you know where the tires are, where the wall's at. Then it's just a matter of getting a good balance on the car.
And the walls don't move.
No, they don't move. Fortunately have maybe touched one. I haven't hit one yet, but I've seen they don't move.
And then you'll probably, hopefully, not get to meet our dreaded guest called the infield tire. We just did a post on that last week, and it generated quite a few comments.
That's one thing that I will tell you: the tires move in the race, so don't expect it to be in the same place the next lap.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
There was one time we go through the corner and the tires all hit in the second groove, and like 2 laps later, we're like, okay, Larry's not throwing a yellow for this. So we were creating another groove halfway through the race because they didn't throw a yellow, and that was the year Kyle Hamilton won.
Yeah.
In the Kenyon car. So it was good for him because we didn't have a whole lot of track. Well, he can go down there, turn, park it, and drive up off the corner, where all of us were trying to figure out what to do. He had the lead in the clean track and figured it out before all of us.
Nice.
And then there was my younger days when I was still working with Tony Stewart, and I would be knowing while you guys are under the green flag, go out there and try to move that tire back in. And he would just cuss me out. He says, "What are you trying to do?" And but we're colorful on that. And the neat thing is, Cal, we've already announced, as far as our hotel racer rates, we're kind of excited in that both hotels are completely sold out. So if you're coming up and you need to find a hotel, there's plenty of them in the Fort Wayne area. But on Thursday night after practice, we're doing the kickoff party this year over at the Holiday Inn right across the street. We're going to have a late night buffet available for purchase, and then we're going to do the party with
the inaugural dropping of the green flag to officially kick off the Rumble party. Are you guys partiers?
Really? Yeah, about 4 years ago, it was about 4:30 in the morning. I look over at Jimmy Anderson. I look around. It was just some crew guys. I'm like, dude, you and I are the only drivers left. And he finished second that night. I ran third. I look at him. We're at the scales, and I joked with him, "Hey, you want a beer?" He's like, "Nah, I'm good." And I was like, "Perfect, me too."
Well, and Cap should have the whiskey, right?
Yeah, he'll have. It's cider now, I think.
Cider?
Some cider beer. Yeah, it's. I don't know. The girls will love it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, it's a neat time because it's a racing family. It's a racing reunion. Racers come. I think we're up to like 16 different states being represented. So it's an opportunity for everybody to get together. And we've thrown in the charity component. We're just going to have a free will donation. The proceeds going to the Community Harvest Food Bank. And being around Christmas time, we need a Santa Claus.
You guys know anybody?
No.
No.
That,
We'll have to come up with something.
yeah, but we hope to have Santa Claus there. We're doing Best Appearing Midget, too. A nice Lynn Cook, a racer's friend, coming up with a $250 cash award for the Best Appearing Midget. Got any schemes in the works for that?
Yeah, we
We know 8-Up's not going to win.
No, well, okay. No, I was gonna surprise. We didn't change the paint job. Not really. I mean, our cars, we focus more on getting them mechanical versus show cars. I mean, yeah, there are some really good looking cars that are fast, but there's a lot of ugly ones that run up front, but they all look good on the front stretch at the end of the race. So that's all we care about.
Well, hey, what's cool is it's all fan driven, and you win by getting the most votes. So I mean,
And
that iconic 8-Up car might win.
So
Are you saying bribery?
I'm not saying this or that. I'm
my
just saying it's
senior
all
year in
fan
high
driven.
school, I was voted class president. That was straight up popularity contest. I don't know how I got it, but I won it. Horrible at student government. Trust me.
So, Thomas, we're 1 week away. Still sight unseen. Do you plan on doing anything or just doing as you said? Just walk in the building and have at it?
Yeah, you just start one lap at a time, get out there and try to get out there early, try to get out, push off first, and just get laps, it's like anything else. And, we always have good stuff, so I expect no less from Joe. And, throw some stickers on it. Dave's never afraid to throw new tires on it. That's the minimum, so we'll have some new tires to throw at it. And, just excited to try a new event and get to go racing in Fort Wayne finally.
Joe, have you told him he's going to Larryland?
Yeah, you'll have to deal with Larry a lot.
I mean, talking about being the first in line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we have.
I'm not sure how you're doing the order. Usually did it like in numerical order of the car numbers, but we switched that to like a pill draw type thing.
Yeah,
correct?
that's what we're going to do, especially since we're going to the group qualifying. So that way you're pretty much on the track every time you're out there with the cars that you're going to qualify. So that especially like even in engine heat, you can kind of see who you're with, and you can kind of maybe, because I think 5 cars is going to be the maximum for the practice.
And thankfully, like when you get behind somebody else, you have to wait to go around them or wait till they go. You just cut the track. Just make sure you don't run Larry over.
So with it
That
being
was a good one. I like that.
with it being your first year in the midget indoors, I mean, like, what are your expectations? Obviously, Joe, brings top tier equipment every year. Are you fighting for the win this year?
I think we're always fighting for the win. If you're not a racer, you wouldn't say that. I guess I wouldn't be a racer if I didn't say that. That's what I'm trying to say. And just excited to get to go try something new. Kind of maybe I get a chance to move Stewart out of the way. That'd be fun. Make some stories. Get to go do something up in Fort Wayne. I've heard so much about it. I drove for a guy up in Fort Wayne and used to go over to Fedorchek's and checked out his ride, and so heard a lot about it. Excited to get the opportunity to do it. Excited to be here on the Rumble Mumble. So
The one aspect, like we always look, is they only start 12 cars. So like there could be 15 cars show up or 40 cars. You got to get the first goal is to make the show.
Yep.
And I feel no matter where you start, I've run top 5 from 12th before. Actually, there was one year you started 14.
Yeah, actually,
And
I think we are back up to 14.
Okay,
now.
I was dead last 14th, and I finished 4th. So as long as you're in the show, some people say yay and nay, but you still have a legit shot because you don't know if there's a pile up on the start where they got to go behind you. So because if one guy stops, the track's so small, you could clog up 3 or 4 cars.
Yep.
And then you can go to the outside where they're all bundled up on the bottom, huggy pulling it, but playing bumper cars. You can go to the outside and run around them.
yep.
And running, about 7.5 second laps?
Yeah, I think our qualifying's around there. I think you'll see qualifying this year probably at the high 7s for sure, because I don't think you'll get the extra time, because with somebody else out there, it's usually a little different. But
What did you call it? Whiskey bump?
whiskey throttle, that's when you just kind of stand in the gas. It's like a motocross term, and I don't even ride motocross. But
Gotcha.
So.
And I don't have to worry about you guys running over my electric eye anymore, because
Yeah.
you'll be on transponders. So
I heard that's a good thing. I like that.
no more arguing about scoring.
Mm-hmm.
So
Racers
You'll-
argue? No.
You'll still be out there
I've
pointing
read
the
in the
flag.
history books where it's happened before, but I'm not so certain. But yeah, so we're talking about the Rumble in Fort Wayne. Just 1 week from tonight, we'll be in practice. Tickets are on sale right now through any Ticketmaster location or at the Coliseum box office. But it's a race. You buy them at the race day. The top 6 rows are reserved. But we like to see the advance ticket sales as any promoter would. But don't get discouraged if you don't buy them in advance, because you'll still get them.
So I always love asking this question, and it's because the midget class always has such diverse drivers, a lot of different backgrounds. And Joe, obviously, more of a pavement guy. T-Mez, more of a non-wing kind of open, well, heck, everything, honestly. And Cap Henry, is obviously doing pretty well in the wing cars. Do you feel that any one person with their background has an advantage?
I don't know. You look at like Justin Peck also. I mean, he runs really good there, and he's been doing really good with the wing stuff. Tony kind of speaks for himself. You get like Kyle Hamilton was basically pavement guy. You get someone like that, and then when Jim Anderson, pavement guy. But you get like Brian Knuckles has been running a lot of wing dirt stuff now too. Billy Weiss has kind of run a variety of everything. I feel it's a different animal going in there anyway. So as long as you're relatively a good, smart driver, you're gonna adapt quick. We had Troy DeCara last time or 2 years ago. Pavement guy. He ran pretty good, and he's usually one that doesn't even use the brakes.
I'm kind of big on nonverbal communication, and when he said you just have to be kind of smart, Thomas just kind of gave a quick look.
Kinda.
Well, we're getting about ready to wrap this up. I think it's like the fastest 23 minutes in all of motorsports, and we want to really give a big shout out to Jason Dietz Trailer Sales, all of our sponsors. We've got so many this year and more to come. We've got a great field of midget car drivers coming this year, and like the diversity. And the neat thing, Thomas, is it's a combination of it's the old Ford Focus midgets, it's a Kenyon midgets, it's the regional, the national, and they're all combined into one class. And so we're kind of excited. So yeah, you'll be racing against 14-year-olds up to Kenny Schrader's age. Kenny's actually entered this year, so
I heard.
We're looking
I
forward to
actually
that.
ran into Randy Burrow at a truck stop in Tennessee on my way home from Florida back at Thanksgiving.
So, Thomas, we're looking forward to your debut at the Rumble in Fort Wayne, presented by Jason Dietz Trailer Sales. And I think even though Thursday isn't open to the public, it'd be worth it to see you out there in practice, getting your feet wet. And then if you can't make it to the Rumble, of course, this year we announced our streaming package with Pit Row TV and Speed Sport TV. So that people across the country can watch the Rumble this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
1 week away, 7 days. We'll see you guys in a week as we're loading in. We're probably going to be practicing about this time a week from now. And
4:30 we start.
yeah, so we'll be on the track 1 week from now.
And we'll have one more episode live from the Rumble from the Rumble in Fort Wayne next Thursday.
Yep. So don't forget to tune in, make your plans, get your tickets, or buy them at the door, and we'll see you guys for the 23rd Rumble in Fort Wayne in a week.